Live from Free Cup Studio in Seoul, this is the GSL.
It's time for the final best of three. In today's GSL Code S, Losira is going on to face the final boss of Group E,
which is GuMiho.
He was moving through the level. It was a scary museum. Creepy paintings on the walls, but the eye holes are cut out. And Boss GuMiho has been looking at him through the paintings on the other side of the wall.
You see him moving the whole time.
That's right.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
finally gotten here. Can Losira take on a GSL Code S champion? You gotta love an underdog story, Artosis.
Well, once upon a time, these guys were a much similar level. Once upon a time, in the beginning of GSL, they would make it in all the time.
It'd be a toss-up between these
Totally.
two if it was 5-6 years ago. Not anymore.
Yeah.
GuMiho has gone to the highest of the highs, and Losira is generally struggling in the round of 32.
Yeah, he generally does, but we already saw Lenok make it out. Maybe it's the return of the old Zergs. Maybe that's what it is, Tasteless.
It's
hashtag #the_return_of_old_Zergs. I bet that one will trend.
Hashtag G, hashtag S,
Hashtag the greatest,
L,
hashtag Tasteless.
hashtag just mom stuff. We're going into the map Ascension to IR. Only one of these two players will move on to the round of 16.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak. When the lights come out. Losira.
Oh.
Get wrecked!
Well, we just owned that intro. Okay, so I think it's going to go
Pause
back
for
to us,
GuMiho.
man. I don't know what happened there.
Wow, none of us do yet, do we? Except GuMiho. Maybe he doesn't know.
Yeah, maybe he just paused and they go over there like, what's wrong? He's like, I don't know. Well, now's a good time to get his towel in position. Somehow Lucira's still playing the game right now.
His APM never dips.
GuMiho's like tabbed out. Lucira's like rushing him right now.
He unpauses.
He's like, it's not against the rules to do this.
Speaking-
It's like, actually, it is against the rules.
Speaking of unpausing, Tasteless, because Todd and I had quite a little debate on Twitter about this.
Yeah?
Something about his settings are off, whatever. But what do you think when you're laddering? When you're laddering in StarCraft,
Yeah.
one or two, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Pauses. What do you think about them?
Pauses? Well, it depends. I'm usually the guy that pauses, man.
Oh,
I
know you
pause
are,
all the time in games.
But, like, do
I'm
you
actually a
think that
scumbag who's
people-
paused a game, just tab out and change my song on Spotify.
Oh, that's
Side door
terrible.
gaming.
Yeah.
GuMiho.
See, people like you are why Todd likes to unpause. But do you, when someone pauses on you, do you unpause it instantly? Do you let
No,
them-
never.
let it
I've never
pause?
done that my whole life. Why would I
Yeah,
do that?
me either. Okay, see,
Yeah.
you and I are.
It's a ridiculous
have a
thing.
similar thread
Things
here.
happen. Sometimes, like
Although
this.
I don't pause for bad reasons, like changing music on Spotify.
Yeah.
Now that I know you do that, if you finally start playing some Brood War with me, Tasteless, I'm going to unpause you.
No, you can't unpause me because
Oh,
I get
I'll do it.
packages delivered all the time.
Yeah, well, that's your
And
problem.
the doorbell in my apartment, it like goes on for so long. It's so annoying. I have to like hit a button to turn it off. But,
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, it's like there's something about doorbells in
actually,
Korea that are just horrible.
When people buzz into my building, it does that.
Yeah.
Where I have to hit buttons to get it off.
where it's just like, why does it just go like ding dong?
Yeah.
It like plays a song. I don't know what's going on with this.
Not my friend.
There are
or
so
that.
many things I love about Korea, but the doorbell jingles are not one. But
You
no,
have a very tough life.
it is hard.
poor man.
I put my pants on one leg at a time,
Yeah.
like any other man. That's how I get through it.
Guys, can we just... everyone give Tasteless a moment.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
But no, I never unpause games.
Yeah, me either.
Look, Lennox spotted.
he is.
Look, in focus, out of focus.
Is that Choja? I don't know.
I don't know.
Can't quite see. He keeps rocking back and forth.
Yeah, if somebody pauses the game, I always give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I'll even wait for like a good 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
I wait.
I'm super patient about
indefinitely.
that.
I just don't unpause.
You won't unpause?
I don't unpause.
Yeah, actually.
I get
now that
very
I think
salty
about
and
it,
yell at people,
I
but I do not
never
unpause.
unpause. Yeah. Well, I just know that usually it's something.
I think if someone left for like a lot of minutes, like 5 without saying anything, I'd probably consider unpausing. But
Yeah.
I know I've left it paused for like good 5-6 minutes before. Okay, double factory right off the bat here. Looks like we're going to see some mech play out of GuMiho. Could be mass Hellions, could be some Cyclones coming out.
So, you know, eventually, Artosis, there's going to be an esports movie that comes out. There's going to be some that are super serious, because esports is just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Some are going to be serious, some are going to be like, you know, award-winning. They're going to have that certain movie formula, like Beautiful Mind or one of those things.
Okay.
And then, of course, we're going to eventually have to have a dumb kids movie, esports movie.
Oh, I'm sure that'll happen.
And I already got an idea, all right?
Yeah? Okay.
And so someone else can do this, and they just, they cut me a part of the check. But remember Air Bud?
Yes.
There's no rule that says a dog can't play football.
Yeah.
What we need is something like that. Like, there's no rule that says a parrot can't be a pro gamer.
There's no rule that says a dog can't play in the GSL.
Yeah, that's right.
And as long as he's playing Protoss, there's a chance. Blizzard should put that in the rules right away to stop this movie dead in its tracks. Dogs are not allowed to play Protoss in StarCraft 1 or 2.
Are there any esports movies coming out?
Yes. Will Ferrell.
The
is
comedy,
going to-
right?
Yeah, I can't wait.
I
That's gonna be
bet
amazing.
it's going to be pretty funny.
Dude, Will Ferrell can't not be funny.
Oh, yeah, he's so funny.
Oh, wow. Huge lane run in right now. That wall just not at all tight in any way.
This
and
just came out of nowhere. I didn't think we were going to have anything happen at the start of this game, but it looks like Leenock, he's done at least 5% damage to the final boss, Artosis.
he runs away now with those slings. Looks like the Hellions came all the way back, and he knew that they were about to be there, so good turnaround. That was really quality, though. A lot of lost mining time, as well as 6 workers killed. That's good stuff. And making this attack turnaround as well is nothing to be scoffed at, because now there's going to be roaches waiting for it.
Yeah, a lot less momentum here from GuMiho with that Ling counterattack.
Yeah. I love, by the way, that he's getting a very quick +1 attack with all of these Cyclones. They fire so quickly that +1 attack is insane. It's like +1 attack for carriers, you know?
Yeah.
Where it just makes such a difference that you really notice it.
Okay. Ling's being chased back now. Already 4 Ravagers hatching. I don't know if GuMiho can actually do any damage now.
No, I don't think he will.
I think Losira completely thwarted him there.
Lingroach Ravager, he's fine. He's got a couple queens in here, too. The +1, though, it definitely does complicate it. Like,
Sure.
that, it adds a lot of damage. You get a couple good Hellion hits on these Lings, and you're going to tear apart the roaches.
Okay. GuMiho is going to try to come up here just above the third base. There is a Ling counterattack. It does appear that there's enough roaches and Ravagers to probably completely deny that. And this is another great pickoff here by Losira.
Wow, Lucira's doing a fantastic job here so far. Okay, this is going to be a bit harder. Going to require a lot of micro out of Losira. Look at the amount of damage already dealt. Wow, that +1. Ooh. Ooh,
Big
sick
connect
bile.
there. Yeah.
Good biles coming down, just making him zone, getting those extra hits as he runs away. Not a lot of micro coming out right now.
Okay, this is easy peasy cleaned up here by Losira.
Jeez.
I think we might even have a full-on counterattack. I don't see why not. He took out everything.
Yeah, he really wrecked him there.
Funnily enough, oh no, I'm sorry. GuMiho's going to go back at his base. I thought he might try to run around and hit drones, but I guess he realizes that he's actually so low that if he were to not have every single unit there and available, he might get run over. Now, some of these Lings have been shaved off. The roaches are what is the real threat to a lot of these mech units.
Yeah, if he sits on top of the ramp, though, he's fine. He's making 4 Cyclones at a time. He is getting +2, so his upgrades are going to be vastly, vastly ahead. That's a huge thing. Layer just now coming up for Losira. So even though he defended that really well, he's done some great harassment. The game is not over. There is still comeback potential here for GuMiho.
Yeah, Losira's growing at a pretty scary rate, though. I mean, we got to acknowledge that. 131 supply to the 100 here for GuMiho. And he's about to get a lot bigger than even that. With Roach Ravager as well, he can actually try to pick a fight again and maybe deny the third base. We've got Hellions coming around from the very top side. I don't believe there's actually, there's nothing here to defend this location. Well, now he's going to be okay.
Yeah, pretty decent creep spread so far here as well. He's got some good vision also, if you look at the middle. some good Overlord spreads, and his Lings have been super active. So definitely a lot of good things going down for Losira right now. More factories being added. Still Cyclone Hellion here for his opponent. With Baneling speed on the way. Ugh. Cyclone Hellion is not going to last forever against that, is it? Okay, a siege tank.
Yeah. Of course, it's going to matter how many Banelings he has, because this many Banelings is still going to be a problem if there's not a huge amount of siege tanks. But in that very second, nicely done, GuMiho spots all those Banelings that were being made. And GuMiho, a minute ago, was supply blocked. He's slowly trying to catch up here in supply. We are reaching a climax in this game where Losira is going to pull the trigger. He is going to attack. And the goal is to at least make the third base lift off and keep Terran on 2 bases while Zerg possibly even takes a 5th. We'll see.
Huh. Okay, so Baneling speed, I feel like 1-1 Baneling speed need to finish at least before an attack. I'm a little bit nervous because he's made a lot of Banes. He has a decent amount of Roaches out there. This stuff isn't going to scale all that well. So I feel like you're right, he needs to attack, but I don't... Like, when is he going to do it? Where is it going to be? There's a decent amount of siege tanks out there already. His Hive is coming along. You know, his Hydralis upgrades are coming along, so I almost want to wait for those. I feel like there's going to be too many siege tanks also. Like, I think there's just not going to be an actual clear window for him. GuMiho is going to be close to maxed out with plenty of siege tanks. And this unit comp that we have on Losira is not going to trade nearly as well as he would hope.
I agree with you, Artosis. It's it may be past due. You know, he mustered this army, but it seems like everything's a little bit late. And I mean, you're basically letting this Terran player sit on mech. And with a unit comp like this, like with a Roach heavy unit comp, it doesn't really segue into a healthy late game for Zerg. In fact, you almost have to trade it out.
Yeah. Which
means you're going to plummet in supply. Okay, he's just going to...
I like the way you said it's overdue. It's like he took a bunch of periodicals out of the library and then kept them until the next month.
Yeah.
And it's like, who else is going to take those out now?
It's late, man. He's going to have some
I don't want to read
video feeds.
I don't want to read a Vogue from March. Okay?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Because that's what I do. I take Vogue out of the library.
Did you guys know Artosis collects old magazines? He's like, these are going to be worth a lot of money one day. Oh, hold on. Hellion's coming in here now. Now, this is actually a supply dump here for GuMiho. He's saying, okay, I actually want to get more gas-intensive units. I might as well go in here and try to wipe out some drones. And a very effective trade, too.
Not too bad. Decent amount of Vipers out. Turrets going up for GuMiho, so that'll help out a little bit, at least, against these Vipers. Spire just now on the way for Losira. So this is getting into a much slower macro game. And again, Losira is sitting here. He's on 200 supply. His unit comp is not really that efficient against what GuMiho has. This is one of those kind of interesting things that you can see in StarCraft 2 about how units do in the late game. Because it felt, in a lot of ways, like Losira was ahead, but he never, especially after crushing that attack, right?
Well, hold on. Let's see what happens now with this attack. This is the moment that he needs to pull the trigger. This is a funny-looking attack, by all measures.
He's like pulling Cyclones into Banelings.
It's like right on top.
Yeah.
That was the most epic death of a Cyclone we've ever had in all the GSL history. That was something else, man.
Now, if only we had Abyssal Reef physics and it flew upwards after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like...
That's about it.
Such an interesting
Try
game.
to imagine a more epic way to die than to be harpooned into Banelings.
It's pretty...
Is there anything more epic than that? I don't know.
Huh.
I remember we once had a drone that was picked up by one Phoenix and then shot down by a ton of cloaked Phoenixes with a mothership, and I thought that was a pretty epic way to go.
Yeah, that's pretty... It's pretty crazy. You don't even see that one coming, do you?
So, I was talking about that mineral dump earlier that we saw Terran do to get rid of the Hellions. Same thing with the Roaches. Those Roaches have no equity this late in the game.
Yeah.
So Lucira's supply has now plummeted, and let's see what he remakes.
This, I gotta say, this was kind of... A lot of things that we've seen here have been kind of masterful from GuMiho. The fact that the initial attacks didn't do much, and Losira never really had a timing to do damage, because we were talking about it a lot, like, shouldn't he be attacking this roach-based army and all this? But look at this, he's having the hardest time in the whole world getting anything done with these units.
I think Losira is about to get rolled, man.
Yeah. Well, he's making Broodlords. Broodlords are a pretty good unit.
So I've heard.
There's like, I don't think there's any Vikings out, so the Broodlords are definitely a good transition.
Well, he's able to fill his supply up with that now.
Oh my god.
Oh my
okay,
god.
he sees a Corruptor though.
He thinks it's just that one Corruptor from the other game.
He's like, oh no, I know this strat.
Yeah.
Use mutas with that.
Yeah, exactly.
And look, if he can reduce some of these Cyclones, that's the only thing he has that hits air right now. He's getting Drilling Claws. That can be useful. He's only making Cyclones. You're going to kill all those Broodlords with Cyclones? Look at this army. Now suddenly his army doesn't do well against his opponent's army.
You know, this has been a very awkward game tech-wise from Zerg, but he might be able to pull something off here. He's coming forward. There are some Hellions to try to counterattack. These tanks are in siege mode. He might want to wait for those Broodlords.
Yeah. Seemed a little bit wasteful there, but... It is funny watching little Broodlings attack.
Yeah.
Look at this. Some real value coming down.
I don't know what these tanks are going to do.
Making a lot of Cyclones. I think he's just trying to split units off.
Yeah.
He's hoping to find an area where there isn't a lot for GuMiho.
Okay, so this is going to be cleaned up fairly easily.
The Broodlord's actually turned around.
Yeah, that,
okay, I'm fine with that, just because you can't have Broodlords alone, you know? Like Broodlords, Lurkers, Siege Tanks, Colossus, these units need other units with them.
Right.
Or they can be eliminated surprisingly quickly.
You know, the Broodlords have been a real threat in this game, but they have not taken out a base yet.
Yeah, they've only
think-
reduced units.
And oddly enough, it's actually been GuMiho with these counterattacks has just killed off one of Lucira's bases. So even though I like the Broodlord tech, I don't know if it's really, like, paid off, you know?
He would have died, I think, if it hadn't come out, but it hasn't done anything aside from kill off some siege tanks. But the thing is, GuMiho did need to change his unit composition. So, the Broodlords didn't do him a favor, but, you know, to kill the Broodlords, he needed to not have an only siege tank army. That's a lot of Widow Mines coming out. Oh
Yeah, it
God.
is.
We got 7 Widow Mines at a time with Tunneling Claws. Woof.
Okay, he's got a good amount of Thors out now. Again, the attention is going to go back over to the Terran side of the map. GuMiho has pretty effectively kept Losira occupied. Okay, he needs to keep his army together because these units are only good when there's symbiosis with everything else that Zerg has.
He does need everything together. Agree with that so much. Okay, now this all together, this is a little bit scary.
Oh! It's almost like Terran wanted that to happen with the drops coming in.
Blinding Clouds on Hellbats are kind of funny.
Losira doing an excellent job. Wow! Broodlord's taken out so fast.
Look at all those mines.
He's going to have to body block with the Widow Mines. Wow, GuMiho from A to Z here with this mech knows exactly what to do.
Yeah. Well, he is the mech master. That is a fact.
Based Gumi God. Scan. We'll have to see. I mean, if Losira doesn't hold this, he is going to lose this game. Oh my god, he's going to micro these all over to where the Hydras are. Let's see how this goes!
Pretty good splitting.
Yeah, not bad at all. However, I think there's enough backup here.
How many tanks does he have? Because it's really tanks that you're kind of looking for at this point.
I don't see any tanks here at all.
No,
I just see Thors.
But this is pure Hydra, so the blue flames are doing that extra damage.
Sure. Okay, Hellbats now. He's going to force this base to evacuate the drones.
Losing a base, that's no fun.
I don't know, Artosis.
GuMiho's on 6 bases right now. Jeez.
Yeah, I think this is the beginning of the end. And keep in mind, guys, in this game, Losira only has 2 lives.
Oh.
Really only 1 extra life, actually, now that I think about it. Depending on how you count lives in video games.
Yeah. The only life that matters is the present.
This is true. Uh-oh. This is actually going to be very unfortunate. Wow.
been way better.
Yeah, that could have been, or way worse, depending on from whose perspective you're looking at this from.
But hey, eventually you're sitting there without siege tanks. The Hydras will hit such a number that you're going to clear out.
That's right.
Pretty well.
Supply's even right now.
Hey, drones attacking a 3/3 blue flame Hellbat. Okay. 13 drones go down.
GuMiho retreating back. He wants to try to regroup and probably just come out again. I think GuMiho got a little bit sloppy at the end of that attack.
Yeah. He did. He was really far ahead there, and he is pulling back and making mass siege tanks now. But Hydras are still being made. I feel like once you have enough Hydras to push that stuff back, you know you're forcing siege tanks. And if siege tanks are coming out, your Hydras are going to lose a lot of value. So I would really prefer to see some other units coming out, but because it's kind of a weird position, maybe he feels like, you know, just getting a super big mass of Hydras, he micro these well and get something out of them. Oh, that wasn't the right place to go to. Oh my gosh.
There is something satisfying about watching the Hydras get melted by the flames, though. They kind of wriggle around.
That's pretty satanic there, Taze.
Yeah.
I love watching living things catch on fire and just
for sure, man.
wiggle as they die.
Yeah, for sure. In this game, absolutely.
But the animations are pretty solid.
They are necessary. Well, it's actually fine to bleed off these Hellions here.
Yeah, not a big deal. If you catch him out of position there, you might just kill a drone line.
Is he just going to try to go mass Hydra Bane? Yeah, I guess so. And then just try to barrel through. Terran is actually getting frighteningly large and has a lot of expansions. When you consider how much of the map GuMiho has, with mech play, mind you.
You might be able to find an area that doesn't have too many siege tanks, but GuMiho is like trying to stay on top of seeing where things are coming from.
It should also be noted that GuMiho has a lot of extra gas in the bank.
Yeah, that's true.
So with big losses that GuMiho may suffer, he can still remake key tech units. Losira cannot.
I hate being the guy, by the way, but I would love to see a Nidus. I feel like a move like that could be so powerful here.
Oh,
when
I
mech
agree.
gets this big, Nidus becomes actually quite a strong
I feel like
tool.
I feel like we should see that more and more as this game continues to develop.
That's a funny place to pull the Thor.
Yeah. I don't know if that helps
Thor
him
is
at
now
all.
dealing more damage than it was.
Meanwhile, a counterattack here. These Hellions doing so much damage to these Banes.
All army on one key.
Yeah, there is something to be said about splitting up some of your hotkeys there. Okay, here we go. Exactly what he wanted to harpoon those siege tanks. But there's already so many in the back here.
The amount of non-light units that have been harpooned into Banelings is breaking my soul right now.
I know.
I wish that there would be a Zerg that would pull my Archons into their Banelings. That would be so amazing.
Pull the Immortals in there too.
Yeah.
So we have a counter push coming out here. GuMiho marching across the map.
That is a lot of siege tanks.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know if the Vipers are going to have energy in time. I mean, this attack is about to activate. He's already hitting the hatchery.
Yeah, I don't know. He needs amazing blinding clouds, and blinding cloud is a short duration, so okay, really good blinding clouds, really fantastic blinding clouds.
Yep. Maybe this is actually enough. Nope. As the Lings disappear, it's just Hydras, which will absorb way too much damage from the siege tanks. So, GuMiho is going to continue to leapfrog, heading towards the hatchery. And of course, if GuMiho takes out this hatch, the one just to the left of our screen will also be taken out as well. So
yeah, this is like a game-ending move, this attack. We will not see a remax from Losira. He has to clear this army with what he has. Good flank coming down, though. A lot of Ling Hydra from the top. Hey, he's going to clear these tanks.
Yeah, I think so. There's enough Lings. The Hydras can actually get in it. Great job here by Losira.
Yeah.
I thought we might have the end of the game right there, but he actually held on. And he's caused a lot of supply. But sometimes I think in games like this, you have to look at the finer details. Like we saw those Vikings take out those workers. Overall, I think Losira is still hurting economically. And again, I said before, GuMiho had so much gas banked up. He's already remaking, what, 4 tanks right now, 2 Vikings?
Yeah, that is
so he's going to come right back out with a lot. And you can see that by just the full supply difference, 170 to 117.
Oh, look at this Hydra flank from the high ground.
Yeah.
Really awesome, but GuMiho just has so much right now. He's had all those bases up for a really long time. There's been no real economic damage done since the early game from Losira to GuMiho, and GG really seeing it shown there. That was a good game, though. That was a really nice one. I love how GuMiho played that, where it's like he got his tanks in just the right amount of time that it just there was never a time to attack when Losira had more supply.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he had way more supply for a long time.
Yeah.
But, like, he didn't have roach speed. He didn't have bane speed. His 1-1 wasn't quite done. There was, like, all these small things that were wrong where it's like, oh, God, I can't really do it right now.
It was off rhythm. It was off beat from Losira. He got the stuff he needed. The way he got there was a little bit wonky. And I think against a player like GuMiho, you have to be way cleaner than that.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you there.
We are now going to go into game number 2. Losira is down 1 game. He may once again end up in the same spot he's been in so many GSLs, where he dies in the round of 32. Last year, GuMiho became a GSL Code S champion. And he's not stopping, guys. GuMiho and Losira, 2 of the oldest school StarCraft 2 players still active, but right now a very big difference in skill. Let's see if Losira can come back and upset this champion. I don't know, man. It's going to be very, very hard, especially when you see the way that the games from Losira are going.
Yeah, indeed it is. All right, Odyssey, a small map. Losira fight back. Make it 1-1.
Here
tie it up.
we go.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak. When the lights come out.
Good luck, Losira.
Losira.
This is going to be like the hardest thing you're going to have to do in a long time is take out GuMiho.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he can, man.
He did well in the game, especially early.
Sidestorm Gaming.
I felt like he did a
GuMiho.
lot of things well.
This is something we've always seen from Losira is he holds his own,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look
point.
right. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like if you're looking at somebody like Sue or so many of these other great Zerg players. Dark is another person.
Yeah.
Another great example. Rogue as well. Where it's like Losira, something seems to be missing, or he has too much of something early on, or too little of something in the late game.
Yeah.
His tech always seems to be
His transitions
a minute
are
or
not
two
as
behind.
fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't disagree. By the way, CC first. But look, this is a small map. It's a different. This one plays out a lot differently than Ascension Iron. Ascension Iron is so big that it just, it's a lot different with everything. You get that high ground in the middle, so if they siege up there, it's like easy for them to attack down into your bases. The bases, even though it's like a kind of a short map and a smaller map in a lot of ways, some of the bases are like way off to the side, a little bit harder to attack at times. You have a gold base here too, so there's a lot of different things that Losira might be able to utilize to pull a win here.
And let's face it, guys, we want to hear a Losira interview. We want to hear that deep, sexy, gravelly voice of his.
So true.
We should actually have Losira intro those player names. He's got such a great voice.
Imagine him introing himself. Like, get over yourself, Losira.
It's like Losira. See, I can't even do it. I don't have the voice like him. I can't do it. What am I doing? Who am I kidding? Come on.
I wish you spoke English so you could just, like, cast with me.
We might have a different kind of interview as well. I want somebody to just say something really weird in the interviews. Because these guys are such professionals.
Well, Beyonda's playing, next week?
Oh, that's right.
So
we could
don't
have
worry.
something there. I want someone to be like, so, what's your secret? How are you so good? And then the player says something like, I drink 1 glass of milk every day. Milk sales everywhere start to go up.
Oh, my gosh.
Is he serious? Is that it?
That's
I don't usually eat dairy, but I don't know.
Same stuff out of GuMiho. Double fact. See if he throws on that armory soon. Yep. Looks like it's going to be like the same thing.
Well, I think in some ways we just have to wait and see if Losira is going to have a cleaner game come up here. I think it's unlikely, but you know, a lot of games we break down to this guy tried this, but the other player had this and was able to stop it, or he was surprised by this proxy. But a lot of times it just seems like Losira hasn't quite refined the overall from A to Z Zerg build.
Yeah.
And that means his worst enemy is himself.
You know, if he can take the same type of first battle he took in the first game, that would do a bit better for him here, I think. Just the shape of the map. GuMiho can't take a third base and barely get out enough siege tanks to defend like on Ascension Ire. On Ascension Ire, you can kind of place some siege tanks that block both your bases.
Yeah.
Here you cannot. It's a lot harder, at least. Like, I guess you could take that pocket base and kind of use that ramp right to the north of the screen here, but I don't know. What I'm trying to... Okay, and he doesn't... He takes that bottom base anyways, but there might be more potential for a good counterattack here for a few different reasons.
I think so, yeah.
So, we'll see. Third base being taken by GuMiho, a lot of Cyclones being made.
It's interesting because this is the more aggro mech style, but I think this is cool because on this map, if you were to do a more passive style, I think Zerg takes the gold base. In this case, you're able to actually get in the Zerg's face constantly.
Some Ravagers on the way, lots of Roaches. We're going to see an attack.
Yeah, well, look, I think this is probably better suited for where, or I guess if we look at how Losira's super late game has gone, I don't see why, oh, get wrecked. I don't see why you wouldn't go for something like this, right?
As long as he hits, like, I don't mind an attack at all if he hits before siege tanks are out. I think that is really, truly the key. The Ravagers can help with your zoning quite a bit here. Look, +1 is going to finish up, though. Like, GuMiho has a good amount of units. And he's going to go attack, but there are enough units for Losira to hold this 100%.
All right, so feigning some pressure here is GuMiho. He's coming out. He wants to try to force out more Roaches and keep him back, so they're trying to defend instead of actually attacking into him.
A lot of Lings and Roaches on the way. He's going to have to pull the trigger on this.
3 more factories coming up here, too, so if Losira's going to attack, it has to be before these 3 factories are making more units.
Yeah. This is like the perfect window, and he just continually is making units. So
this was
he
just
is
like,
going to attack.
Mark my words.
Oh my God! This is the best thing that can happen.
This is the
for
dream.
Losira.
This is the dream.
If he comes
Terran
all the way up
coming
on creep.
All right,
GuMiho just going to run away.
Here we go. The Lings can actually block.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Yeah.
That's how you do it. This is how we do it.
He lost like 1 Ravager or something.
Yeah.
Like obviously a ton of Lings, but he should be able to go and do some serious damage.
He's going to bulldoze this third and second base.
Yeah. Look at that. Perfect defense as well on those 2 Hellbats. They're not going to do anything. But what about 4 more?
Get ready for the supply block of a lifetime here.
Yeah. Well, he killed all his units too. Maybe he won't supply block.
No, he's going to do it, I think.
Yeah.
So many Ravagers. Wow. And I think we're just going to have GG in a moment here.
I think so. That's a lot of SCVs going down right now. Not a ton of micro coming out of Losira, but I don't think he needs it.
Well, see, this is what you do. If you don't want to play a late game, just try to kill him off early.
Well, this was a pretty good counter to his build as well. Just like lots of Ravagers to deal with this. This kind of, the battle mech composition, not that good against Ravagers. They don't get any plus damage against them. And
look at these Ravagers with their attack of the Killer Tomatoes bodies coming up here. I'm sorry, is this game not going to end?
Well,
because I thought I saw like 15 Ravagers walk into the main, but
he killed 38 SCVs.
Yeah,
so
he didn't actually reinforce this really as he was doing it. Yeah, I mean, Terran's at 47 supply to 129. 22 workers here for Terran, which is pretty bad.
Yeah, his economy is pretty shredded, but I mean, he's got plenty of production. He's about to have +2 attack. He might just go attack. Like I don't think this situation is getting better for GuMiho.
Well, I also don't feel like this is a situation where Zerg wants to go back and really try to tech up. I think you really do want to make just a lot of units and try to bludgeon them. This kind of mech doesn't have the defensive play as someone who is, for instance, going tanks.
Yeah.
You know, it's just Cyclones fighting Roaches and Ravagers.
Yeah. Well, he has +2 attack now against no upgrades on Losira's side. So I'm okay with him attacking. Losira, on the other hand, he has so many units here that I just can't see him ever dying. He's just way out macroing me. He has over twice the army supply right now.
Yeah.
And it's like most of it's Ravager, not Roach, but Ravager.
Yeah.
If your supply's all in Roach, that's something to be scared about. Ravagers are much better.
Okay, Zerg's coming up here. And surely...
Look at this flank.
Well, he actually just went down here and addressed this right away.
Yeah. It's like, all right, I'll kill this half of the army.
I'll kill this first, then I'll kill the thing above me. Although I will say, this is actually thinning out the Roach Ravager army pretty impressively, to the point where I'm wondering if Zerg actually does quite have enough.
That +2.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's funny because it looks almost so strange where you'd initially expect everything to go down, but yeah, these Ravagers are popping quite quickly. And we only just now have upgrades coming up here for Losira.
I actually, like, I see him, he's getting 1-1, I'm fine with that. I want to see him just rush up to Broodlords from here. If you just continually are pumping out this type of unit, and your opponent is continually having to make, you know, some Hellions, some Hellbats, some Cyclones, yeah, I think you'd just probably kill him with Broodlord tech if you just go steadily to it. Whereas if you're trying to stay on these units, what if GuMiho continues to just barely hold everything and gets into some siege tanks? Then suddenly your whole comp, you're like, this isn't doing that well.
Well, let's see here. What exactly is Losira actually going to try to do? I agree with what he should do, but it almost seems like there's a bit of arrested development here, and he's just going to keep making Ravagers.
Yeah. Against the units he's fighting against, they're good. He just doesn't have upgrades for him.
Yeah.
When he gets 1-1, the battle will be a lot better than what we just saw.
But do you think he wants... I guess he actually wants to go in for a kill move. If he's maxed out like he is now...
Well, he has to go attack.
Right? I think you don't even care about this counterattack. This is not going to kill your whole base as fast as that many Ravagers with 1-1.
Yeah, he does have that +1 attack now. He's swinging back around to clear out these units. I guess, you know, you feel pretty bad if the counterattack does a lot to you and he holds. So he's going to go ahead and force this back.
Okay, so this is cleaned up, knocking GuMiho below 100, where Losira can't even make more units because the game won't let him. So, I don't know. Let's see where this goes. I mean, I thought a while back that Losira was actually going to win this game, but GuMiho is pretty tenacious.
He is, but
he just does not die.
This game is, I mean, he lost 38 SCVs early on, you know, it's pretty massive. Just +2 attack is so funny to watch.
GG. Okay. Losira did it. Can he do it one more time, though?
Possibly. Odyssey, again, that was a pretty good map for him to try this on.
Sing with me, your toasters.
They didn't do it the time.
Losira guy, GuMiho maybe one more time. Wow, this has got to be in all seriousness, such an intense moment here for Losira. If he can just snag one more win off of this GSL Code S champion, he moves on to the round of 16. You got to take it one group at a time.
Indeed.
One game at a time. Imagine
if he makes it through, man. Him and Lenok with those big comebacks this season. Players that we didn't expect to get out of their group. Losira has had quite a bloody battle on the way here as well. Like that Hurricane series, nice and close. Here it is, map 3 against GuMiho. And then of course TY, you know, beat him. Like if he qualifies, this is the maximum amount of losses you can have, the worst score you can have to move to the next round.
We're going on to the last map. It's going to be on Black-Pink for our final game tonight. Losira versus GuMiho. Only one player can move on to the round of 16. Surviving Group E. Losira, someone we would not expect to get this far. GuMiho, somebody who's at one point in time the best StarCraft 2 player in the world.
GSL Season 1.
He's going to have to work for it. Lucira's still got a shot.
Break. When the lights come up.
You think he's going to do it, man? You think he can?
Yeah.
Losira.
I think he can if GuMiho just keeps doing the same thing. Like, Losira has some good ideas here.
But then, the question is, how exactly is that win going to look? I mean, can Losira try to do the same thing he did in Game 2 and actually pull it off? I don't know.
Well, he's just going pool first.
Oh, you're right.
to open here. Now, we don't know what pool first this is going to be. There are a few different pool firsts, like one where you... There's one where you can just run Lings around and cancel the command center. That's definitely one pool first play, because the Reaper will come out towards you. And in fact, GuMiho doesn't make a Reaper sometimes. Oh.
Losira, a little bit of a sneakier opening. It's always a little bit of a poker game early on in StarCraft.
It is.
You look at the map. In some ways, that's how the deck is stacked. You look at what their build is. That's kind of like you see some of the cards on the table or try to guess what's in their hand. And we have a command center about to be made. There it is, on the low ground.
Yeah. So the two Lings might do a little runaround, where as the Reaper gets towards the base, the Lings run in and try to kill the SCV while a reactor's making.
Right.
And then it just slows down that command center quite a bit.
Here are those two Lings now. We'll have to see where exactly the Reaper is going to go. Will it be able to intercept this? Has, in a sense, GuMiho predicted that Losira might try a strat like this? No, he hasn't.
Yeah, and this, I mean, it's not like a deadly move, this one.
No, it's
you're
just,
not trying to cancel, you're just...
this is what Losira needs, though.
Yeah, little things. It's worthwhile. See that? Reactor just got started. 0 units at home. You can easily kill that SCV that's making the command center.
And the Lings come up now. With that reactor on the way, there's no way to really defend this.
He made a Marine.
I'm
Nice.
sorry.
It still delays it quite a bit, look. And he gets a decent scout on what's going on, sees a factory, a reactor, double gas. That tells him a lot, seeing the double gas. There's not a third command center going to be on the way. And just the stalled out command center a bit. It's really nice. I like the opening. Okay, much quicker layer. Like, he has not been getting layer until he's already got Ravagers out and stuff. So this layer is super, super fast for Losira.
Could we have a Nidus?
Yeah, we definitely could. I think Nidus is one of my least favorite things you could do. I think like a quick Hydralisk Den or quick Roach speed can both be okay.
We have the drone coming up now. And it actually goes uncontested there. The Reaper not doing anything.
He knows this third is really late, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's sitting here looking at this and wondering at the moment, I think.
Oh, my God. Those are not beyond mines.
No.
We know that much. If it was beyond, he would have somehow used that mine to launch his Reaper across the map back into his main.
Look at some of the safety that we see here. First off, this is a great scout. Sees Cloak is on the way.
Yeah.
Really important. But the fact that he's even going in... Well, actually, it's a fake Cloak, isn't it?
And it's going to be a Spire here for the Zerg.
Keeps that Cloak going. You never know, though. You see Cloak making, you always got to think of Banshees on the way with Cloak. But yeah, going into Spire. And that's going to be a pretty good counter against us, I would say.
We still have Zerg on 2 bases. I was wondering if when he sent that initial drone out, if that was to make it look like he wanted a third, but he really didn't. Like, he knew a Reaper was probably going to get it. And then the Reaper didn't get it. He's like, okay. Sends it back home. Here comes that drop now. Not clear if Losira is actually ready for this, but it's 4 Hellions unloading. Let's see how many drones he kills.
Ooh. 7 already. This is really early for 7. Pretty painful. Did not see the Spire. That is important, but he did see the layer. Second Banshee on the way. We don't see a Spore yet. And Cloak finished, right? No detection?
Yeah, no detection here.
Painful. Can lose a lot of drones.
Yeah, I mean, if there's literally nothing to stop this. Wait, we're sure Cloak finished, right?
I'm...
Yeah, there it is. I'm like, nah, I'm still not sure.
No. Did it finish?
Did it, though? So, the Cloak Banshee's going to come in now. Uh-oh. Now, this is already going to be a decent amount of worker kills. But when the Banshee comes in, any bruised drone is going to just get one shot in here. Okay, I thought I was going to get more drones than that, but it doesn't really matter because this Banshee's now out. So there are 7 Mutalisks so far out, but the Mutas can't really do that much right now because they have to respond to this Banshee, which allows Terran back at home to get ready to defend against this.
Oh my god, the Banshee's doing so much damage.
Yeah.
That is such a large amount. And plus, as you said, just the fact that the Banshee keeps the Mutas here, that's huge as well.
Yeah.
Because the Mutas have a very small amount of time where they can get over there and really get something done. Now there's already a Thor. It's operational.
It is. There's a guy in the suit. Does it take one guy to drive a Thor?
Well, it's like 4 supply, right?
So it's 4 guys?
But no, I think
is it like the Power Ranger where like one guy's in the right leg, the other guy's in the left leg?
No, I think it is one guy. Fairly certain.
We know Tychus was one guy controlling a Thor. He does drive a Thor. Isn't that one annoying mission where he's like, oh, I just can't control myself. I'm just going to go kill the Zerg without you.
That was a cool Thor.
Yeah.
It was like a super Thor. Remember when Thors were way bigger?
Yeah. I do still like how they go into fetal position when they're being carried around in the medevac.
Yeah. You just lift up their legs. They don't want to...
Yeah. They use their little Thor arms to tuck their knees to their tummy.
You don't want them to kick the dish off of the command center.
Yeah, exactly.
Won't be able to call down your mules anymore.
You'll lose satellite TV that way. Well, I'm not sure what exactly Losira wants to do from here on out. I mean, his plan was, I think, unintentionally thwarted here by just not having detection to get that Banshee.
His defense was not perfect. You know what? He tried to call a bluff that wasn't a bluff, you know? He saw that Cloak was on the way. The thing is, half the time it's a fake. You know? You cancel Cloak a lot of time. And when the dropship came in, I think probably then he decided not to make spores. Because he's like, see, you weren't even making a Banshee.
Now look at this. See how many mutas are going to go down?
Jeez.
This is muta hell. Even, oh no, that one actually manages to make it out. But the thing is, these mutas don't really have much utility now. And when you think of how much gas was invested in that,
yeah, they aren't doing anything.
It's pretty bad, man.
And the Vikings are not even like something that GuMiho minds having. Like when he reinvented Mech against Zerg, it was very heavily Viking based. No one's been using Swarm Hosts against him so far here, but like it's super good against that. It's good against Vipers.
Right.
It's just they're very good, and he knows how to play a Viking heavy mech style better than anyone in the world.
Well, we've seen Losira in late game before, and it can be pretty rocky, whereas it seems like GuMiho knows exactly how to get to where he needs to be in the most efficient way possible. So I guess we'll have to see how these pushes that are most likely going to be coming out from the top of the map from Terran are, and if Losira can scramble to get together the right unit comp to actually deal with it.
He is going to need to get into Vipers, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Has that Hydralisk down on the way. Hive has been started. GuMiho definitely in a better position.
Little Thors with in their fetal position now. Yeah. And you're probably wondering, how do they do that? Well, they take yoga.
Is that what they do?
They do, yeah.
See, I just thought they were robots.
No. Oh. Well, they are robots, but you tell me robots can't do yoga?
Yeah.
Actually, I bet yoga would be bad for a robot when I really think about it. Okay, so he's going to come in here with his Thor drop. And this is annoying because the mutas can't actually try to fight it head on because the Thors are just going to gun the mutas down.
Yeah, 3 mutas against 2 Thors and 5 Vikings. Oof.
Kind of a funny looking harass, but I dig it.
Well, definitely gain some value.
It's Losira on 4 bases and GuMiho on 4 bases, which for everything we know about StarCraft is generally bad for the Zerg. The Zerg wants to be ahead in bases, so we're still waiting to see when that 5th base from Losira is going to go down, but I think right now Terran doesn't have to do much of anything besides try to harass. He's got tanks and Hellions grouped up. He will eventually push, but I guess you normally want to look at for where that fresh base is going to be, and you try to push in that direction and just stamp it out.
One thing that Losira has going for him pretty well, I would say, is this creep spread.
Yeah.
It's looking really nice. We only see one area where it's kind of lacking towards the bottom a little bit, but overall, that's a lot of creep to have to push over. It's going to slow down GuMiho a little bit, so that's nice. Jeez, Thors are strong.
Well, they are robots with guns for arms, Artosis.
That's pretty crazy, actually. How do they pick things up, though?
Well, that's a good question. I actually don't know. They got to scoop it up in the hole of their gun.
What if I gave a Thor like keys to my house? I'm like, hey, can you watch over my house while I'm gone? They're trying to get those keys into the.
Well, he uses his gun to shoot the door down.
Well, he's gonna have to pay for that.
Well, he lands a mule later on. That fixes it.
Oh yeah, you're all right about that.
So some Hydras now driving back.
Thor's the 1%.
So the push is finally starting. Now, we saw Losira rely on a lot of counterattacks last time. It looks like these Hydras are in a position where that's probably what they want to do. Although we normally see Lings in counterattacks, I guess you can use the Hydras if the Terran moves far out enough. You know what? I think I spoke too soon. I think it's actually going to be Losira who's going to try to attack into GuMiho. Yeah, here we go.
Well, GuMiho is basically maxed out. If he's in position, I can't see this really working right now. But he's got the Vipers that have a lot of energy, so... Okay, a decent parasitic bomb. One good abduct. He needs a backup, though. Too many siege tanks.
Well, if you notice, GuMiho is just turtling so hard.
Abduct! There you go.
I thought he abducted the CC for a second. I'm like, what?
That would be pretty good.
Pulls that in. That lands on Banelings. Craziest way to die ever.
Some pretty good abducts. Do have to say that.
Yeah.
This type of play is cool.
I don't know if it really did anything.
Well, he got like 4 or 5 siege tanks.
He did.
You know, he got a few units. He definitely lost some Hydras and some Vipers. Hey, look, picks off the Thor. Oh, no! Oh. But look, the more he can do moves like that, that's one way to fight against mech overall, is abducting important units and trying to pick off what you can. But overall, I think that was actually more efficient for GuMiho.
Okay, this is the mineral dump. He's going to try to send these Hellions out to kill as many drones as possible while still getting rid of these Hellions because he wants to make more gas-intensive units. And this could not have gone better, to be honest. 15 drones already killed.
Yeah. He lost a lot of workers right there. Sees the timing of the Greater Spire. More Thors, more Vikings on the way.
7 Broodlords coming. Problem is that there's not enough creep at the bottom of the map, which is the direction Terran's expanding in. I think it's going to be very difficult for a Broodlord ground army to ever push there.
Yeah.
And he'd have to take that out with counterattacks, and assuming that GuMiho's on top of just making planetaries and getting the right defense up, I think he should be okay, which means it's going to be, I think, tough for Losira to try to close this in the late game.
Yeah, this army that he has right now, like he's entering the supreme late game area.
Yeah.
Against a masterful Terran mech player. Possibly the best Terran mech player.
Yeah, the guy who revolutionized mech, really.
I feel like it takes someone like Rogue to finish this out with the Zerg pieces.
Yeah, I don't know if Losira can go all the way down the Zerg late game rabbit hole.
Yeah, we'll see.
Come out on top. I would love to see it. But
so far, this is good.
This is a very big challenge here for Losira. Now, Losira is going to try to take this head on, saying, for the time being, I've got some great anti-air. Good job harpooning those Thors in there. But there's so many Vikings up here, and there are just no Corruptors or anything like that. And the tanks basically cover the ground so that the Hydras can't easily get under the Vikings.
He had great abducts, and then by the time he got off creep there, he lost a lot of Broodlords. He lost all of his Vipers now, quite a few Hydras also. And now all the Broodlords will be gone.
Yep, and that's it. It's just Hydras now, which are never going to win in a fight against tanks in siege mode. Now, that being said, even though GuMiho's the victor in that fight, I don't know if he can push across the map. But what's really happening here? Look at the minerals and gas that are banked up on both sides. Gas very low for Losira. This is a similar theme you'll see in a lot of late game ZVTs, as they just try to wipe out the Zerg's gas-intensive units like Hydras and Broodlords over and over, trading effectively, to where, overall, by the end of the game, Zerg can pretty much only afford links, because they mostly have minerals, and that's it.
It's very true. And don't forget, the Raven's been changed so significantly, you don't really see those.
Did he just harpoon a Thor, and then the medevac went out and grabbed it after it was harpooned? Did I see that correctly?
I think it was actually the medevac that got harpooned, and then he boosted it away.
Oh, okay.
I believe that's what occurred there.
Something looked funny about that.
Yeah.
But, okay, the push is on. Moving through the south now. GuMiho coming up. And it looks like he's going to get a position over here on this high ground, right where this ramp is. And I don't know if Losira can stop it.
Bantling's stuck behind those Hydras. Tank's getting siege up, has to pull back. Yeah, this base looks pretty hard to defend right now. He needs Vipers over here, but there's enough Vikings to kind of keep him pushed back. So you almost have to deal with the Vikings first, which buys a lot of time for the tanks.
Again, coming up here. Are these Banelings really trading effectively? So many of them die into tank shots.
Running into Thors also.
Yeah. So I think no matter what, this base is going to go down. If he needs to, he can always land these Vikings too for extra soaking.
I feel like he's safe to not make Banelings for a little bit. Like, you need him against the Hellbats,
right?
But I keep seeing Banelings kind of roll in, and it's quite a waste against some of these units.
A scan in the main. I think he might actually land these Vikings in here.
Yeah. Or kill a bunch of Overlords. No Overlord speed.
Yeah, either one's actually fine. Terran's now regrouped up here at the top. Creep first, then the expansion's next. Sensor towers are actually very nicely distributed, so really, I think Losira is going to have a better chance of trying to take on the army than trying to counterattack and actually making it work. Here we go. Lots of Banelings coming in. I don't actually think that GuMiho has enough.
No, it doesn't look like it at all, especially as the Blind Clouds will come off. More Siege Tanks coming up from behind. Actually picks off quite a bit. I didn't see those Hydras and Banes from the bottom. Looks like he will clear this army, but can he push any further than this? I don't think so.
Losira in a supply lead, but let's see if he ends up overextending here.
Yeah, a little bit, I think. It always gets worse and worse off creep, worse and worse over time, especially when you have Banelings in your army.
So GuMiho really got his supply knocked down. He actually doesn't have that many resources banked up either. Neither of them do on both sides, so this is going to get a little bit scrappy now. Any unit kills at this point in time in the game are actually very important. Like that tank, for instance.
Yeah. There are some sloppy moments, though, where everything's kind of grouped together.
Right.
See just a few random extra units die, and don't want to harp on that too much. It happens all the time, but you know, when both players are keeping their bank at 300 minerals and less, you lose a Hydra. That's
you can't really afford to hemorrhage anything here. So GuMiho sends these Hellions out here on a suicide mission.
God, 3 armor much?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
All right, this Sling will be able to take that down. He doesn't have Adrenal upgrade for his Slings.
Oh, does he not?
No, definitely not. That Ling was not attacking as quickly as it could have been.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
GuMiho itching right now to try to get this top left base. We'll see if he can actually get in here. Again, very favorable trades here, using these Vipers to suck out some of these units. That's exactly what Losira needs to do.
I love it. The Parasitic Bomb also really good.
Losira might be able to do this, guys.
Maybe.
Even though GuMiho has so much of the map that's not contested, he is hanging on. Losira is maxing out, but he has to stop this push.
He needs to keep these Vipers up in production, keep on refilling their mana as well. Liberator's coming out, joining the fray also. Losira going to lose another base, but he does have that bottom base. By the way, he cleared out the bottom right command center that was morphing. That planetary, it's gone. It's killed.
Hydra counterattack here. Now, these Hydras actually can deal with a planetary because you can get out of range and just hit the workers, which is going to be a big punch in the gut economically here to GuMiho.
Look at that. And that's you actually need a decent amount of units to go and clear those Hydras that are on the high ground. Going to come up and siege the tank. This is going to be one of the best ways he can do it. But hey, this is siege tanks taken away from that front line.
Yeah.
And if he can now regroup the rest of his units, now that a bunch of units are in the bottom right, maybe he can bring in his Vipers and continue to have good trades.
This is a great final game.
Yeah. This is a really good series.
GSL. This is awesome. And by the way, man, if Losira wins this is going to be like one of the games of his life, man. Taking out a player like GuMiho, who's just been rapidly improving.
That would be awesome to see him be able to do that. As much as everyone loves GuMiho, like Losira has been around as long as GuMiho, and you know, recently he hasn't had that success. And I remember when GuMiho won, Losira's interview was about that. He's like, God, I mean, I'm kind of like GuMiho. I've been around forever. I haven't been able to do it in so long, and this gives me hope that I can still compete.
And keep in mind, he'd be beating GuMiho at his own game, the alternative mech style. Okay, he's going to go for it. Didn't even siege up right there. just trying to get in here and force these drones out. He wants to slow down Losira economically. Losira very quickly actually pulls those drones. He's reverted his attention down to the bottom center.
Yeah, and he's expanding down there. I love it.
Yeah. But this expansion has been taken out. So right now, I think it's going to be GuMiho garnering a little bit more middle. Hold up, never mind. Big attack up here. The Banelings actually with some great connects. Is this enough?
Dude, he's clearing all the Vikings. He gets rid of the siege tanks there.
Oh my God.
If there's no repair, the planetary will be gone.
But these Hellions are doing so much damage.
Oh, that's
these drones are not defended. Oh man. Hydra is so slow off creep though.
Man, he really did a lot of damage to those Hellions. And in fact, even going to take some of the Hydras with him. Oh no, the drones came back. 53 drones killed. 54. Oh my God, that's down a huge amount.
25 workers is all Losira has left. GuMiho right now mining with 51, but I'm not clear on how many minerals are at the expansions he's actually mining from.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get a shot of it for a while, but I believe that both the top and the center right were mined from for quite a while.
God, those drone kills were so significant.
Maybe the most important thing, though, is the size of GuMiho's army. I don't know, even with good counterattacks, if Losira can stop it. Okay, he's going to try to push right through the middle. He's scanning everywhere. He's checking, is there any other army movement anywhere? And he sees that, in fact, Losira's army is moving in sync with GuMiho's army. So GuMiho, or Losira, may not be aware of the supply differential here. That's one of the hardest parts about a game like this, is you're not always clear on where your opponent is at. It's easy for us to see, but when you think of how many fights they've had this whole game, how would either player really know where the supply is at? And in this case, it's really low right now for Losira. Losira's going for the counter.
Oh, man. Looks like he is going to move in very quickly. Siege-Tank's going home, and that means he's going to lose a lot of his economy once again.
The drone count gets lower. It's down to 21.
That's not so many.
Losira's going to have to move around the map, take out all of these bases, try to regroup, and then answer this big question, which is, how do you take out a player with this much more supply than you?
God, he's going to get trapped in here.
Yeah.
The tank's sieging up right now. Starts to harpoon some of them, so some good moves. A nice blinding cloud or two there as well. Really zoning perfectly with those. That was dealt with as best as it possibly could be, I think, from Losira.
Now, GuMiho's going to try to box in this army. He says, you don't have any more money. If I take this out, that's it. GG.
Wow,
what a
great
series. Awesome.
That was so good. Losira falls. But I tell you, he gave us two awesome series against Hurricane and GuMiho.
He did.
Really played well. I feel bad for him. This is a really tough group. I mean, one of the Horsemen plus GuMiho, who's like the fifth wheel of the Horsemen, you know?
Yeah. Nicely done. GuMiho, congratulations. He is now moving on to the round of 16. The results, at least score-wise, are sort of what we expected, but I have to say the games were a lot closer than I would have guessed they would have been, at least. We had a nice, solid, long day. It's almost 5 p.m.
Wow, yeah.
Good 4 hours of GSL Code S.
Totally. Very enjoyable 4 hours.
축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
Curie says, congratulations, GuMiho. He says, thank you.
정말 치열한 최종전 승부였던 것 같습니다. 먼저 최종전 승리 어떠신가요?
It was a back and forth game.
게임이 될 건 알았지만
How do you feel?
이렇게까지 힘들 줄은 몰랐고 최종전 할 때도
I knew it was going to be a tough series tonight, but I didn't think it was going to be that tough.
저그전 정말 치열했습니다. 자, 그리고 오늘 모든 경기가 다 재밌었어요. 고병재 선수가 해서 그런지 다 재밌었는데 1경기 탭
So today, every game you played was really entertaining.
먼저 그 3세트 피해기 누적되면서 업그레이드와 또 조합에서 불리한 타이밍을 극복하고 역전승을 거두신 거였어요.
The third match, let's talk about
그
that.
한 방의 그 묵직함으로 이겼던 그 세트 승리.
Your opponent was giving you so much damage, but you kept holding on. What was happening back there?
좋은 상황은 아니었거든요. 근데 이제 기웅이가 실수를 해가지고 분간계를 죽어주는 바람에 약간 기회가 생겼던 것 같고.
Yeah, I think Hurricane was making mistakes on that map.
운이 좀 많이 따라줬던
It
것
gave me a good
같아요. 사실
opportunity
저도 진 줄 알았어요 게임.
to
그래요.
turn the game around into my
사실
favor.
오늘 그
I actually thought I was going to lose that game for most of
최근
it.
IEM 평창 등의 그런 주요 경기들에서 다수의 그 태프전 패배를 감안해 보면 태프전에 대해서 답을 얻었다는
Recently, when I was watching your IEM qualifiers,
아직도 여전히
you seem to
어려우세요?
be struggling against Protoss.
태프전은
Did you learn and adapt from those
세판
matches?
중에 두 판
Did you find any
정도는
answers?
지는 그런 밸런스라고 생각해요. 한 네, 66 대 33, 좀 반올림하면 6.5 대 3.5.
I think when I've got matches against Protoss,
항상 어디서 막히냐면 운영을 어떻게 해야 되는지에서 너무 막히는 것 같아요.
I think I usually
저격은
lose
할수
2
있고,
games out of 3
올인도 칠
games.
수 있는데
Ratio-wise.
항상 운영 대 운영 그리고 안전빵 빌드를 했을 때 서로
I've tried all-ins
차이가 너무 벌어져 있어요. 진짜 이게
and very different
운영으로
builds, but
따라잡기 힘들 정도로 차이가 벌어져 있기 때문에 그런 게좀
when I go for
운영으로 이기기 힘들
macro
것 같아요.
builds,
오늘
It doesn't
이제
seem to
테란
suit me.
선수들은 모두 아주 통계학을 좋아하시는 분들인 것 같아요. 전태양 선수는
seems like all Terran players are very focused on data and stats
경기
lately.
전에 절에 가서 기도를 하는 메타를 쓰고 있다 하시는데
They're really trying to make those
동의하시나요?
네, 저는 절에 안 가서
TY just says when he has Protoss matches,
제발.
he should go to the temple and pray instead of trying to actually
뛸 때도
practice.
기도했고
네.
모든 대회 직전에 다 기도를 했는데
네.
I'm not going to the temple, but I will say,
오늘
오늘은 좀 운이 좋았던 것 같아요.
네,
I just say, I'll just put it like this: the day before I have a match against Terran, or against Protoss, I'm always praying.
오늘 이렇게 치열한 승부 끝에 16강에 올라가게 됐고 이제 조지명식입니다. 사실 작년 시즌 3 탑시드로서 조지명식을
So you're going to be in the
하셨는데
group nomination for the round of 16.
위해서
네.
권한을
last season you had a very tough seed there.
받고 그 결과 16강에서 떨어졌었어요.
네, 그렇죠.
And you actually swapped spots with somebody else.
이번에는 좀
For the group
무난하게
of death,
가고 싶고
what is your? Do you have any plans coming into the group nomination process this time?
네.
그래서 그거 이후에 좀 생각을
I just try to go with the flow.
해보려고 진짜 복수하고 싶은
And I
토스들이
wanna
너무
be-
많아가지고
아 그래요?
네 정말 너무 많아가지고
Excuse me, I want to be in an
네.
easy group.
다 뽑고 싶긴 한데 마음 같아서
There's actually a bunch of Protoss players out there I want to get revenge on.
네.
네, 그 이후에 생각을 좀 해보려고요.
So
그중에서
after the patch, I want to, excuse me, I want to
가장 복수하고 싶은
just
사람.
네.
try to.
네, 준호.
김준호 선수.
Excuse me, guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. Can you pick one Protoss player that you want to actually have revenge on? You said you had a bunch of players you wanted to get revenge on, and he said
고병재
Hero.
선수 이번 시즌 1을 통해서 다시 한번 또 이렇게 우승컵을 들어올리는 모습 많은 분들이 상상하실 것 같아요. 팬들에게 한마디 마지막으로 들어보겠습니다.
지금
Will you be able to raise a
많이 안
championship
좋은데
trophy
그래도
again?
열심히 노력할
Also, do you have
테니까
any words to your fans?
많이 응원해 주시고 지켜봐
I
주시기
think that
바랍니다.
now,
감사합니다.
Terran,
알겠습니다. 다시 한번 축하드립니다.
I think we're having a hard time, but I'll try my
네,
best,
이렇게
guys.
고병재 선수가
Please support me.
나타났는데요. 오늘 2조의 16강 진출자
Spoken
화면으로
like a true
경기를
Terran
보겠습니다.
player, Artosis.
To be fair, only one Terran player has not advanced so far, and that's Bunny.
That's true.
So, GuMiho and TY move forward tonight to that round of 16. No big surprises there. I think the biggest surprise of the night for me was just how well Losira played.
In this photo, GuMiho looks like TY's bouncer. TY brought some muscle.
Yeah.
You get too close to TY, you ask for an autograph, GuMiho makes some cyclones and blows you up.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
He's got a cyclone on his shirt.
With a towel in his hand the entire time.
Oh my.
He uncolored his hair. I wasn't expecting that.
He's back to his roots, man.
That's
Bleach
right.
himself.
He was always a natural blonde, guys. We are going to have this group on Wednesday.
That's a sick, badass group.
No kidding, man.
Trap, Dark, Byun, all serious round of 16 guys. And then Trust is someone who occasionally shows brilliance. Occasionally he's mini zest, and then other times he just dies.
Yeah.
So like he can make upsets, although you can't expect him to do too much in that group.
That's right. Another GSL down.
Yeah.
Great games today. One of our
good
longer
day.
days, but these games are so good.
Yeah. Today was nice.
And, you know, good luck to Losira in the next GSL. I'm sure we'll see more of him.
No doubt.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. That's all the time we have for today. We love you. We'll see you on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.
2018 GSL Season 1 Code S Daybreak.